harassment without knowing any proper rules and regulations of these recovery agents nowadays, and the important concepts and regulations and the legal protection given to the citizens of India are as follows. This is very important part of RBI Fair Practice Code and Recovery Agent Guidelines, especially for borrowers facing the calls or home visits. Here, a clear summary of RBI's specific rules for the loan recovery agents, home visits, and phone calls, drawn from the latest RBI circulars and master directions updated till 2024. RBI guidelines for recovery agents, especially first parties home visits, especially timings are very important here. Permitted hours, it can be made only between 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. This is the circular given in April 12, 2018 and RBI Press Release August 2022. No visit should be made early morning or late night. That means before 8 a.m. or after 8, after 7 p.m. on public holidays unless borrower agrees in writing. No recovery agent should harass you by visiting on public holidays unless there is a written agreement in writing. Identification and authorization. Every recovery agent should have valid ID cards and a written authorization letter from the bank or NBFC. Show these before starting any conversation or entering premises. Borrower should verify and note details, agent name, ID number, agency, and phone number. These are must and should. Without these details, no recovery agent should enter into your premises and argue with you, fight with you, and abuse you with any kind of words, verbally, and sign language. Conduct and behavior. Agent must act with courtesy and professionalism. He cannot use abusive or threatening language, physically or verbally intimidate, cause public harassment, shouting in housing colonies or workplaces, etc., and using abusive language, unparliamentary language, and shouting in front of the home and in front of the neighbors or in front of children. It should never happen. Mislead borrowers about the legal consequence or arrest. Legal default is not a criminal offense. He cannot tell that I will go and complain in the police station. Police will come and arrest you. This is they will put in a jail under imprisonment. These and all bullshit. They never should talk. You must maintain the privacy and confidentiality. They cannot discuss your debt with the neighbors, relatives, or co-workers. This is the very important thing. Many people threaten to the normal innocent people who does not aware about these skills and who does not know about the law, right? And these harassment agents always do this one in order to threaten the people to recover the money. Notice before visit. RBI directs that lender should first attempt the recovery via written communication, SMS, email, or letter. If borrower does not respond, visit may be scheduled with prior intimation only. The bank should record the time, date, and purpose of the visit. This is must and should. Repeat visits without a reason are considered as a harassment. This absolutely harassment. You need to make evidence of that one and you need to produce and complaint so that these harassing recovery agent should be punished seriously. Location of the meeting. The recovery should happen at mutual convenient and designated place. Only if the borrower repeatedly avoids, the agent may visit the home or workplace still within the allowed hours and ethical conduct. So, RBI guidelines for phone calls by recovery agents. This is about completely phone calls. Permitted calling hours. Calls allowed only between 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. No calls between before 8 a.m. and after 7 p.m. on national holidays Sundays unless agreed by borrower. This is very important, my friend. If any agent is harassing you, please note that number and agent and immediately complain to the grievance cell and escalate this one to RBI also. Disclosure requirements. Call must be clearly disclosed. Yeah, the caller must clearly disclose their name, agency name, on whose behalf bank or NBFC they are calling. Some of the agents show that one, I don't tell my name. Why you want? They will argue like a bullshit. Be careful about those arguments and record those conversations and send to the recovery agents and bankers grievance cell. Details of the loan and purpose of the call. They have to clearly mention politely and obediently. Contact number of the grievance redressal officer if needed. Unless they produce and they deny to produce any of these things, you have a right to complain against to them for harassment and without proper ethical and professional behavior. No harassment and excessive contact. RBI strictly prohibits repeated or excessive calling considered harassment. Calls to family, office colleagues, or friends. Any kind of verbal abuse, threat, or false claim, police case, or arrest, etc., the call must be recorded by the bank NBFC for audit and complaint regulation. Please make sure that one, if anybody violates this one, never be afraid, be confident and record the things and complaint. Those recovery agents should be punished. Borrower rights. You can ask for ID cards and return authorization before any discussion. Refuse to meet or talk outside the allowed hours. And complain to the RBI's nodal grievance officer if any rules is violated. Escalate unresolved issues to the RBI ombudsman or local police if harassment continues. My friends, be aware of these rules. These are given to protect the interest of the innocent public. Most of the harassment agents, recovery agents, use without they use certain kind of a violence on recovery force. So be careful about these rules and be don't fall under the trap of this recovery.